Every Arc Raiders raid has them. The Chad, the Rat, and the Loot Goblin. Here are 10 types of players you'll definitely run into. Number 1. The Chad. This player is super aggressive, meaning that they push into any fight at any chance they get. This player is only interested in one thing: PvP. Player versus player. You thought they came here to loot? No, 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 no. These guys came here specifically to get kills. You've definitely encountered this raider. They love gunfights. They love the thrill of the excitement. To be honest, I'm going to call them an adrenaline rush addict. I think that's safe to say. Now, here's the thing about the Chad, right? They are skilled with any weapon. It doesn't matter if they're using a Rattler level 1, a Nos spray, or a Nerf gun. Their accuracy is unmatched, and you're still going to go down. Number 2, the Loot Goblin. Now, I'm not going to lie, I would probably describe myself as a Loot Goblin. Probably because I get a massive dopamine rush when I put something in my pocket. I don't know why, but I love it. We love it. And I want more! These players will open every single container in the lobby, okay? There's nothing left when these guys are around. You best bet that they have got a full inventory pretty much every single raid, just like the boomers. Oh, what's that? You're also trying to loot on the same raid and you would also like a bit of loot? Well, there is nothing left, yeah. Loot goblins get distracted pretty much at any moment, you know? It's like we see a bit of loot on the table and just every bit of respect for our teammates and also priorities just vanish out the window. I could be listening to what you're saying to me, giving me instructions, and I'm just full focus goop mode, you know? There's nothing going on inside that brain right now. I'm locked in. Here's the thing, they know all the good spots, you know, where's all the top tier loot? They know that. Where are the best places to loot? They know that. Have they been watching loads of YouTube videos on how to get all the goop? They've done that. I think you'll often find that Loot Goblin type players will often on their lunch break be watching the best spot tutorials on where to get the best scoop. And while that is probably quite a good idea and is efficient, I would also like some loot. Like something hits their nostrils and then just bam, Bettina blueprint. Like, well, how? You know, Will, you know what? Yeah, I think that's a good spot. Great spot. Matter of fact, no one's ever looted like we've looted before. You want to see a magic trick? Look, there's the oil. See the oil there? Now it's gone. Now it's gone. The Rookie, number 3. Now, the Rookie is a new player, so they're probably going to be using a free loadout to get by. And they jump into a raid not knowing how things roll around here. And it can be quite surprising for a new player who doesn't know how things work.
Good spot.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Double pop. What is this arc shit about, bruv? Free pops. What is this? What? You know, they roll into lobbies and they see things that they've never seen before. They panic at literally anything. Bullets whizzing. You can often catch rookies hiding in a building or even hiding in a bush. Now, here's the thing. I would kind of call these guys a little bit of like a bush Wookie because they are terrified of players and Ark themselves. Honestly, top 3 scariest experiences playing this game solo as a new player and you've got good loot. I remember my first game when I got some loot and a player ran past me. My heart was hanging out my ass. I was so scared. Now, if you ever catch a rookie in your lobby, this player panics so much that you just know in the Discord call, they are screaming. Someone in it! Someone's in it! I don't know, with excitement or rage or just a panic, I don't know. You know, getting chased by a leaper, whew, what an experience. Now, here's the thing. They struggle with Ark. You know, they could be chilling, looting 1 minute, and next minute, a tick runs in the room, and all hell breaks loose. Now, as we all know, for the Rookie, there is 3 main enemies. You have the players, you have the Ark, and you have height. And then you have full damage. But hey, you know, it's not all doom and gloom for the rookies, though. There's a lot of upside, you know? You got the best to come. Enjoy these times. Enjoy the grind. But hey, welcome to the game, kid. Sneaking in at number 4, the Rat. Now, here's the thing. Let's settle this in the comments, right? Is third partying, like the Rats, scummy, or is it tactical? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. I mean, it's a little bit scummy, but if it works, it works, you know? You know, this action will have consequences.
Hey, bro, you friendly?
Friendly. Hello.
Don't shoot.
Guy up here.
Over here.
Shooting at me? Little rat, bro. You fucking little rat. You little fucking rat.
Now, here's the thing about the Rat. The Rat strikes when the other opponent is low. They've just finished a fight, and then they jump in, swoop in, like some sort of hawk. Or maybe not hawk, maybe a better term would be seagull, sweeping in. coming in, sweeping down, nicking all your food. It's horrible. Punch them in the face. They love a flank. They will always strike from some other area that you didn't know they were there. They weren't there to begin with. Boy, are they there now. Of course they're there now when you've got all the loot on the table. Oh yeah, you know. And then here's the worst bit. They get rewarded with the loot. The loot that you should have has been now given to the rat. How do you feel about that? Now here's the thing. They will not fight head on, okay? They won't fight direct. You know, if the opponent can see them, they won't fight. They will continue looting. And then just as you get distracted, just as you get busy, BAM! You just hover in like some sort of fucking UFO. Now here's the thing, right? The third party will bounce on a fight more than Bonnie Blue bounces on. If you ordered a pizza, this is definitely the type of guy who's gonna steal a slice. 100% you're a rat. Kind of disliked within the community, but hey, you know, if it's a tactic and it works, it's not mega scummy, but it is a bit scummy, but hey, you know, I'm not judging. Do you know what their favorite film is? Yeah? Take a guess. Take a guess. Ratatouille. Why? Because they see themselves as the character. You just know it. Rat. Little rat. Ratty, 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 rat, rat. Rat, rat, fucking rat, rat. Oh, what's that? You've just lost all of your loot at extraction. Yeah, it's number 5. It's the extraction camper. Now, here's the concept for this player, right? You know that lovely, beautiful extraction that gets you back to Speranza nice and safely, even though you've got to fight Ark and also defend against players, yeah? Well, how about we make that harder? The extraction camper sets up a tent in the corner. I don't know if it's in a bush or a bus. They set up a little camp. Ooh, they set up a little chair. They pull out a little stool, brew a coffee. You know, they sit there and then they wait hours. You know, it's quite the unemployed gamer behavior, isn't it? They don't do anything. They just camp at extraction and wait for their next victim, which is gonna be you with all your loot in your pocket. You've just had a fantastic raid. You fought 3 teams off and you all won, and you're heading to the extraction, and then next minute, nothing is more rage baiting than this. This is a 10 out of 10 rage bait experience. Honestly, there is nothing that breaks your heart more than this experience. Super ratty. You thought the rat was bad. This guy is the rat times 100. This player is hated within the community. Let me know in the comments. I guarantee you have ran into one of these players, and oh, it's one of the worst experiences. If you're watching this and you're one of them, just know I hate you. If you're an extraction camper, you must have so much time on your hands. In a way, I almost envy you, but we know your secret. We know you're unemployed. We see it, we know it, and we dislike it, and we won't stand for it no more. Sneaking in at number 6, the ninja. The ninja is an ambush professional. They lurk in the shadows. They blend into their environment, and then they strike. This player is so stealthy, so quiet and stealthy, you would never know they're there. Here's the thing, if you encounter a ninja, one minute you're fighting or looting, and then they don't make a sound, they just spawn in, and then you die. You know, no signs, no fight, none of that. Pure death. There's a stat, right? 7 out of 10 times you are next to a ninja without knowing it. The ninjas are flanking experts. They are super tactical. You know, they use silencers, smoke grenades, nunchucks, Death Stars, you name it. You just know that the ninja loves a night raid because they weren't stealthy enough. You never hear a ninja. They just sneak up on you, creeping around. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of admire this player, to be honest. They are a master at stealth, and they have excellent map knowledge, and they outplay me every time. It does not matter. I've changed my audio settings, and I still can't hear them when they sneak up on me. I will put a bet on that ninjas eliminate opponents faster than a fat man eliminates a McDonald's. Number 7, the no mic. Now here's the thing. The no mic is such an unpredictable player because they don't speak. So you don't know whether they're your friend or they're going to backstab you. I'm staring at you, boy, and I can smell your desperation. What did you say, boy? Say it to my face, boy. You ain't gonna do shit. Now, the thing about the no mic as a player, right, is that sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. I don't know if the no mic type players roam around the real world like this, but are they just so introverted that they just don't speak? You know, they're just walking around, perhaps they're at work or something, and non-verbal player, just pure emotes. They invest in their future, not education, just emotes, different emotes and stuff like that. If you like coordination and communication, don't partner with a no mic. In a way, I'm kind of happy for them, but they just wander off and do their own thing. Goodbye, fellow raider. They leave you guessing what they're going to do next. You've got no idea. If you had decided to push a team into a building, they're probably about 400 meters away looting. They're not going to help you out. In a way, if you kind of like squad up, I guess you could say that the no mic mic is kind of like the third wheel. You know, they're just there in the corner. They're just happy to be there, doing their own thing. There's zero input. They're just vibing. Great personality, by the way, of the no mic. You know, they really give you a lot to go off. And yeah, you know, me too, brother. Would love a call out, by the way, but this guy doesn't do it. He's got no microphone. If a team starts pushing him and we're next door, you've got no idea. You didn't even know that they went down. They're just dead. Why? Because you didn't hear a call out. In a way, they're kind of like the squad filler. You know, not in a bad way. I mean, choosing you for your personality, put it that way. Number 8, the zero to hero. In a way, the zero to hero is kind of like the underdog. They join a raid with pretty much nothing, usually a free loadout or some bad loadout, and it's just massive upside. There is so much to gain. They're not scared of losing anything because they didn't bring it. Now, because they didn't bring any good loot, there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be worried about losing. This player wants to start at the bottom and get to the very top. This player swaggers around the map, super confident. They're running around, you know, they're pushing fights that they wouldn't push normally without their good loot. There's nothing to be worried about. Because there's nothing to lose, this player is ballsy. You'll encounter a lot of zero to hero players just about when a expedition is about to finish. Nobody cares. Everyone's just running around, doing their own thing, trying to get loot, massive upside potential. I rate that. Oh, they love Stella Montis, by the way. Anyone who says free loadout Stella Montis, yeah, this is you. They often win with bad gear. Like, they're good, they're skilled, and there is massive upside. But because they push into fights, they're aggressive, but yet also tactical, they get a lot of loot. And sometimes they're absolutely stacked with loot. The zero to hero, risk taker. You know, they want to start at the bottom and try to get to the top. They want to be nothing, trying to become something. A little bit like Tottenham Hotspur. Wait. Number 9, the friendly. If you ever hear, hey, raider, that's going to be the friendly. And if you've ever been in a raid where people are really getting into character, I was playing on Stella Montis and I had the weirdest experience yet. Oh, oh, oh!
Yo, what?
The friendly is a really chill player who does not like PvP. They avoid it at all costs. Just know that if they shoot you, they will apologize and it was probably an accident. The friendly is a really trustworthy player and will sometimes fight alongside you as well. This player is super helpful, giving you information, sometimes even giving you loot, and is a real peacekeeper in the community. If you're a friendly player watching this video, comment below and we'll give you a thumbs up as a sign of appreciation. The one-man army, number 10. And last but not least, the one-man army is somebody who likes to join a group. Perhaps they're playing with a squad with their friends and they load in together as a team and then they just separate. They just do their own thing, wandering off into the distance. This player has a lot of main character energy. They think that they are the focal point. And while it probably will be a better idea to fight as a team, this player has other intentions. Pushing into fights solo, you know, head on. 1v3, let's have it. I mean, I kind of look up to that and admire that in a sort of sense. I said to my buddy the other day, how often do you actually win these fights in a 3-on-1? Here's the thing, right? They die quite a lot, not gonna lie. Reason being, this has definitely happened to you. You've probably been in a raid with your friends. You're in a building, you're looting, it's all locked down, you're ready to go, and then, you know, you look to your right and suddenly your friend is 400 meters away. If you haven't got a teleportation device in your pocket, you better get your ass over here. I hate to break it to you, but sadly, they're not a team player. They're just not. Why? Because they're doing their own thing. They're never near you. Have you ever heard the saying, it's safer in numbers? Well, not for this guy. This guy clearly didn't get the memo. They rage so much, so consistently that you know their Discord call is sounding like, yep. Now, whether your friend is one of these players, or be honest with yourself, which one are you? I would love to know in the comments below.